Sponsored by Squarespace. You are looking at the most iconic quiet scene in horror history. "15 minutes into Birdemic shock and terror, our protagonists prepare to escape the titular apocalypse. Instead of music or loud sound effects, this scene utilized only environmental noise, punctuated by the cries of birds. The long take lets the horror unfold itself, and so for the next minute, we fight with the characters. This scene has no narrative consequences, it's you and the uninterrupted silence. It's a moment to feel the shock and terror. This quietness is not foreign to indie horror movies. The 2003 psychological horror comedy The Room features many meditative travel sequences. In these shots, the film takes a breather and let the San Francisco landscape speak for itself. Throughout the film, many words are spoken, but the underlying emotion is still.
I got the results of the test back. I definitely have breast cancer.
Johnny himself does not show any signs of emotion until 46 minutes into the movie. And when he finally does, it is epic.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
In the 2013 cosmic horror thriller Fateful Findings, there's a scene where the wife shares an intimate moment with his eldritch husband. The brief 1-minute bloodbath is told entirely without dialogue. Highlighted the moment of horror is the quiet ambient music and the sound of a running shower, which can be entirely removed. The painting-esque visual, the body language, and the hesitant pace of the narrative are enough to convey the unspeakable horror. Today, however, we seem to have forgotten what stillness feels like. In this scene from Sinners, a vampire attacks and kills one of the Michael B. Jordans. It's the first time the movie reveals its horror in full. The creepy visual alone is haunting enough. And yet, the scene is followed immediately by gunshots, and then dialogues.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
And then a loud sting, plus another gunshot. With these audio cues, the film indicates what you should feel, otherwise you may get distracted by Haley Steinfeld. Such is the norm in Hollywood horror today, even in movies I love.
It's you! It's you!
Even in movies I think are great. It's all non-stop sound effects and music. Why? Of the most striking silences from horror, my favorite is the 10 minutes leading up to the climax of Plan 9 from Outer Space. Throughout the film, the monsters are always accompanied by music. But when humanity confronts the true monsters, two alien scientists determined to destroy mankind, the face-off begins in near silence. The villains withhold their words, but the visual speaks loudly. I fear no man, they stand. This quiet foundation builds anticipation, and the battle feels more intense as a result.
You see? Your stupid minds. Stupid! That's all I'm taking from you. Get back here, you jerk!
It's upon this silence, filmmakers crafted some of the most suspenseful moments. With larger-than-life horror and awe-inspiring creations. That's not to say loudness is always bad. In fact, wall-to-wall music also has its places. 2019's existential horror film Cats is presented with constant music and bombards you with non-stop horror visuals, dulling your mind until you forget what quietness is. And that is the point. A crucial part of any existential dread is the never-ending thoughts flooding your mind. So, when the ending comes, the film stares at you in the eyes and goes silent.
Not a dog.
Your suppressed thought hits you like a tsunami. The horror is so potent, the world went into quarantine for a few years afterward. Playing with audio can be fun. In the 2015 splatterpunk film 50 Shades of Grey, protagonist Anna is subjected to a series of intense experiments. The torture sequences are presented with soothing music, akin to how John Woo approaches action. Instead of a ballet of bullets, it's an opera of flesh. The artistic merit deserves 9 Oscar nominations. Indeed, my issue with horror movies today, especially with Hollywood productions, isn't the audio, but the conventionality. It is too predictable. What's the point of a plane ride if it lands exactly where you expect? This is the longest stretch of silence in weapons. In this sequence, a father is speaking to a figure whom he believes is his missing son. It should be an eerie sequence. Instead, it goes for a jump scare.
What the f?
Whenever the movie goes silent, it nearly always ends in a loud bang. I find it deeply ironic that a film about trauma refuses to let the trauma fester in silence. Seeing all these successful indie films may be giving you some creative motivation. And if you want to conduct your own experiment accompanied by soothing music, why not make a website with Squarespace? Like the perfect horror victim, Squarespace offers pre-made templates to get your creative juices flowing. You can design every aspect of your website and it will not complain or scream at you. The editing process is intuitive even in untrained hands. It's also done entirely in the browser and is perfectly legal to be experimented with. Best yet, you can start experimenting right now. Start a free trial with squarespace.com/accidentalcinema. Use the code accidentalcinema and you can get 10% off your first purchase. Cut it, paste it, and write your fantasy all over it. Post photos and videos or start an online store. If you can think of it, you can start it. Why not visit squarespace.com/accidentalcinema and start experimenting today? This is Animal Crossing. It's a cutesy video game series where you live in an animal village and spend your days fishing, catching bugs, making friends, visiting the museum, and paying your mortgage. It also has a strange fandom that insists on treating it like a horror game. Playing Animal Crossing without music is a tranquil and yet eerie experience. Without the music, the liminality of this world becomes impossible to ignore. Your character doesn't age, and the world does not change beyond weather and seasons. Day after day, you repeat the same routines, see the same faces, trapped in a world in stasis. It almost feels like purgatory. I guess that's why the game doesn't allow you to turn off the music. Today, music is everywhere. A simple dinner date means driving with music, eating in the restaurant with music, shopping with music, and going home only to turn on more music. Unlike our ancestors who had no ready access to music, we all grow up as stimulation junkies, with our own thoughts drowned out by noise. Even without music, we still expect sound, from traffic, machines, and voices. Genuine silence is hard to come by. This, in turn, makes silence the greatest tool for horror filmmakers. And that brings us to Manos, The Hands of Fate. For those unfamiliar, Manos, The Hands of Fate is a 1966 indie horror film about a family trapped in a house run by a pagan cult. Shot on a 16mm Bell & Howell camera, the crew was limited to 32 seconds of footage at a time. But with limitation came creativity, and the film's use of silence during every liminal moment is truly one of a kind. Ingeniously, instead of music leading to a loud jump scare, it does the opposite. Here, music winds down into absolute stillness, building into the next scene where nothing happens. Silence also comes after dialogues.
I wonder where they're going.
Man, like there's nothing up that road.
In between dialogues,
Well, Torgo, which way is out of here?
There is no way out of here.
even in the middle of music.
Torgo, we'll stay tonight, and then tomorrow...
You cannot stay. The master would not approve.
This constant microdosing of silence creates the same world in stasis effect that makes Animal Crossing so unnerving. Each scene feels like it lasts forever, and the next one feels like the one before it. Characters run away from the house, and then moments later runs back inside.
Let's go back. They'll never think of looking for us at the house.
You know, you might have a point there.
Dialogues repeat inexplicably.
Dead? No, madam, not dead the way you know it. He is with us always. Not dead the way you know it. He is with us always.
It feels like being trapped in purgatory. To this day, I'm still too scared to rewatch this movie. Despite its small budget, Man of the Hands of Fate emerged as a celebrated cult classic, beloved by its fandom dubbed the Manosphere. It's this kind of creative execution that makes me wish more horror movies understood the power of silence. A scream may be scary for a moment, but true horror begins when your mind starts feeling the void. When you are staring at the screen and everything goes quiet, through the black mirror, you are confronted by your own visage, and your mind quietly whispers, "Happy April Fools, f***ers."
Garbage day! Huh? No!
I'll have my revenge, and Deathstalker too.
Freeze! Stay back.